Hi Stampers, it's Madeline from the wonderlandstamper.com. I am very congested, so I apologize beforehand for my voice. I'm either getting over sickness or allergy, I'm not really sure. So we are going to be doing today during Stampin' Sunday, going back a little bit. I've been focusing on the Occasions Catalog and Celebration. I wanted to bring you back to the Annual Catalog, which I think some of us forget about a little bit, because with the new catalogs that come out, they're so exciting to see that sometimes we don't really give the full attention that the Annual Catalog deserves. Today during Stampin' Sunday, we are going to work with Wood Words and this gorgeous background stamp, which I love, and we're going to make two beautiful cards, so stay tuned. Stamper. So this is the first card that we're going to be doing. I've done a lot of the prep work beforehand. Just as a reminder, on my website, thewonderlandstamper.com, I'll have all the supplies and dimensions that we do today. A piece of real red is the first layer that you'll need at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. A piece from the Wood Textures Designer Series paper at 4 by 5 1/4, and then a piece of Whisper White at 3 3/4 by 5. You're also going to need one of the small cloud-like circles in real red and stitched shapes smallest circle or second to smallest circle in Whisper White, and then I cut out the little rooster in Whisper White with the framelets that come with Wood Words. So that's what we're going to need for this card. Okay, so the first step that we're going to be doing for this card is you're going to take your piece of Whisper White and you're going to want a piece of scrap paper that you can put underneath this, because we're going to be stamping off a little bit with these circles. So we're just making our own background here with Real Red, the ink version of it. I have the circle from Wood Words that I'm going to ink up really nice, and I'm just going to randomly, I just re-inked this, so this is going to look a little bit different than my original, because I wasn't really happy with how hard I had to push to get a clear image. So if you'd like that color, all you'd have to do is stamp this on the scrap piece and then stamp it on the envelope. So if you like the lighter look, you can still achieve that. I'm going to do some little half circles over here. There we go. Okay. So now we can put the scrap away for now, or actually, let's keep it out. Let's keep it out. So now with the little stitch circle that you have, we're going to be using crushed curry, and we're going to use the little star stamp that's in Wood Words. And this is what it looks like, right in crushed curry. And what I'm going to do is go around this very carefully. I don't really want a lot of overlap because I don't like how the stars look. So I'm being careful of where I'm putting my stars, just getting them nicely even on here. And if you do one that you don't like, that can be where your rooster goes. Okay, so there we go, our stars and crushed curry. And then we're going to take our Real Red back out. And we're going to take, I used, all the stamps we're going to be using today are from the Wood Words. So I'm going to be using the Thanks a Bunch, which I love, and we're going to just stamp on the top here. There we go. Now our rooster is going to get stamped. So I did pre-cut him. It's up to you if you like to stamp and then cut, or cut and then stamp. There is 2 sides of this, so I figure if I mess up, I can always turn it over. Or actually, it would be a different, that wouldn't work. But it worked out good. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Tim Holtz scissors. I've talked about these in my previous videos. I love them. And I am going to just trim around. So you don't always have to restamp, even if it doesn't come out exactly where you want it. When you re-ink your inkers, just be careful because a lot of the ink is transferring to my hands because it's a lot wetter than if it's a little drier. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take these two things off, put our scrap away. I'm going to just use my regular adhesive gun to get this cute little rooster onto my stitch-shaped circle here. There we go. Now we are going to start putting this card together. So the stamping is over for it. What I did was I took this gorgeous ribbon that we have. I love this gingham ribbon. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. And it's in, I think, Smoky Slate. So they have a Night of Navy version and they have the Smoky Slate version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this all the way around the card, and I want to do a bow over here on the left. Okay, so I'm going to tie it and then I'm going to do a bow. And I've told this trick to you before in my previous videos. I never cut the ribbon from the spool until I have the bow cut, because what ends up happening is 90% of the time my bows always look better and I'm less stressed about tying them if I wait until I have it fully made and then cut it from the spool. So I highly recommend that. So now I'm going to trim this and go at an angle so we have that nice ends on there. You can always change it. You can make it shorter if you want. All right, now we are going to attach this to the red cloud. So that's just with adhesive. I'm using my Scotch Advanced Tape Glider. The supplies that I use that aren't Stampin' Up, I will be providing all my Amazon affiliate links down below, so make sure to check those out. Now I'm going to put this on here just like that, and you can tell such a difference. Just re-inking your ink pad can make such a difference. I'm going to put two big dimensionals on here. They're not mini, they're the full size. And just take off the paper here and place this. That's so cute. I love this set. It was not a set in the beginning, I'll be honest with you. It was not a set in the beginning that I was a fan of, but over time I really like it. And it's just a reminder to really look in the annual catalog again. Now that we've been so obsessed with the occasions catalog, take a look through that, because that catalog is going to be gone by the end of May. And let me tell you, it is sad, all of the things that get taken away from it. So if there's anything in there that you love, now is the time to get it, because you can stock up and get free stuff from Celebration. And I brought this up in my previous video where I announced the Paper Pumpkin winner for March. Make sure to check that out. Now's the time to stock up, because in Celebration catalog there are 2 items that you'll be having to pay full price for when the annual catalog comes out from 2018 and 2019. So go back to that video and check out what those are, or look in your Celebration catalog. Now's the time to stock up so you can get that for free, so that you don't have to spend your own money later on down the road to get those cute items that you want. So there is our first card all finished, and I love how every card looks different, even when it's the same crafter who's making them. But this is the one we made together. This one's a little bit lighter, and I kind of like the look on. I like them both, but I like this worn look because it really matches with the stamp set. So all the supplies and dimensions will be over on my blog for this card, but let's move on to our second card. And again, these are card fronts. I always tell you this in these videos. I only do card fronts because then I attach to a card base when I'm ready to give the card. So these are 5.5 by 4 1/4, and they'll go on whatever color card base you'd like. A card base is 4 1/4 by 10 or 5.5 by 8.5. So it's up to you. Fold it in half and then put this on the front, okay? If you have any questions about that, you can always reach out to me. All right, so this is our second card. I made this card a long time ago for Club, and I love it because you make your own pattern back here. This stamp set has so many possibilities with the 3D box you can make, with the Big Shot, all these cute little farm stamps, and this big background stamp is just gorgeous. All right, so what are you going to need for this card? You're going to need a piece of Night of Navy that's 4 1/4 by 5.5. A piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then a piece of Cherry Cobbler that I did. Let me make sure I give you the right dimension for this. 3.5 by 4 3/4 for this one, and I ran it through the Big Shot with the wood grain embossing folder. Isn't it so cute? We'll also be using the Pretty Label punch and the burlap ribbon and Night of Navy ink and Whisper White craft ink. All right, so let's get started with this. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your Night of Navy that we're going to cover up, and you're going to punch out from as far in as you can get towards the center a label, so that way we can stamp that. And we're going to be covering this up, so I always recommend that you do things like that to save paper, okay, because that's going to go on our card base and you're never going to see it again. So see, just like that. All right, so we are going to be stamping this and our Whisper White. You're going to need a scrap piece of paper again, because we are stamping off quite a bit for this Whisper White because we want it to look different. This might not be big enough. I think I'm going to have to go like that. Okay, so again, let me just remind you of what the set is and what it looks like. This is Wood Words. Has all these cute shapes and that worn out distressed look. Some nice sentiments. Hello friend, fresh treats, a note for you, thank you, thanks a bunch for you, welcome, farmer's market, these cute stars, the circle, and this stamp. This won it for me. I needed this set just because of this one stamp, and then it made me interested in the whole thing. Then you can make 3D little like wood crates using our Wood Textures Designer Series paper pack. It's super easy, cute gift. We have little perfect Sullivan bags that go inside of this. You can put treats and close it up, and it's a perfect gift. The little tag maker, I just love this set, and I'm telling you, you can get it in the annual catalog right now with that discount. Who knows if it's going to continue? I really hope it does. If it doesn't though, now's the time to get it because you save 10% getting the stamps with the framelits. If you wait, it might not be there in the next catalog, and or it will be there, which I'm crossing my fingers it will be. You'll have to buy these separate from the stamps and you wouldn't get the sale price, which, come on, we all love a sale. So I would get it now if you're interested at all. Okay, so you will need an E block. This stamp is pretty big, this background stamp, so you will need a bigger block. So you could use an E or an F. I would recommend the E. So I'm going to get that nicely on there, and I'm using Night of Navy for this. So the Night of Navy ink pad. And again, here's the example card. This is what we're going for here. So I have my Night of Navy out. This is a big stamp, so you just want to make sure you get it nice and inked every time. Now I'm just kind of going for it because a lot of this is going to be covered up with our layers, so don't really worry about what it's looking like. You want to do enough stamping so that the ring, you know, like around here will be seen, but other than that, the rest of it is not going to be seen. So it's whatever you want it to look like, and don't stress about it either. So I'm just going around the edges here and getting enough on there so that when I put my layers on, you'll be able to see this pretty design. Look at that. No work at all, and it's gorgeous. And again, this is another set too, like the stars that I said earlier. I don't like the overlapping look when they kind of come onto each other. So I do pay attention to where I'm putting the stamps so that I don't get that overlap. So there we go. Look how easy that was. Now we're going to do our Night of Navy Pretty Label stamping because this craft ink does take a while to dry, and I was noticing that it was getting on my hands and smudging. So I want to make sure we do this and let it sit for a little while. So you are going to have to wipe off your stamp either with our stamping scrub, which is a favorite of mine, where it has a wet side and a dry side. I'll set it down here so I can show you what this looks like. We have a little sprayer that you can spray this with the cleaner on the wet side here. I put our Stampin' Mist into our Stampin' Spritzers, get it nicely wet here. I'm going to take my stamp and just rub it clean on this side. Make sure I'm getting all the edges because we're going to be going in the white, and then make it dry. And then it's ready for you to go, which I love. That's the easiest. If you've watched my videos before, you know I'm not a fan of baby wipes. I am not a fan. They leave little pieces of junk on your stamp, and then it affects your stamping later on. The Stampin' Scrub is not a big investment and it lasts forever, so it's totally worth it to get it. All right, we're also using this Hello Friend. So I'm putting on a D block. I'm going to get it nice and inked in this white, not giving a lot of pressure. Okay, because I don't want it to go around the edge of the stamp and create that ring there. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom and press. Okay, I'm not really happy with how that turned out. So there are two sides for a reason. I might have to re-ink this. The two sides of the paper has helped me many times. There we go. Then we're going to do our chicken. So get him nice and inked in here. We're probably going to overlap a little bit, but that's what I kind of want. I want his feet to be over it. And there we go. So I like that. It is a little dry down in here, but I like the look. I think it's good. But you could always re-ink if it doesn't come out the way you want, just like that Real Red. I haven't used Real Red in a while. It didn't come out the way I liked it, and so just re-inking it changed the whole look of it. All right, so we're going to put this part of the card together while we let this sit aside and dry. So we're taking our Night of Navy that we took the punch out of. We're going to attach our Whisper White to it with adhesive. Center it on here. Then I already put this piece of cherry cobbler through the Big Shot with the wood grain embossing folder, one of the heavy duty embossing folders. Oh, I almost forgot a step. We are going to take burlap ribbon. This is my favorite ribbon that we have. And we're just doing a small piece to tuck behind here because I want it just in the center. And we put the adhesive on so it should grab it for us. And we're just going to cut this. We just want a small piece just to be through the center here. And I'm going to put adhesive down again just to hold that ribbon the way that we want it. We can always use some glue dots to put it down exactly on the front if we want. There we go. Okay, now we're going to use dimensionals. Careful, this might still be wet, but we can still work with it. Just don't touch the image. I'm going to put dimensionals on this. I'm going to go a little bit overboard just so that it attaches to the ribbon, but also attaches to our cardstock, so then it'll hold the ribbon down for us. And these Stampin' Dimensionals were in low inventory when I placed my order this morning. So make sure if you're needing dimensionals to get them, because I don't know how long they're going to be out of stock, and dimensionals is something that I cannot live without. And there we go. There is our second card. So I love this Wood Words stamp set. I hope you do too. I hope you liked my cards. I did this. I got inspiration on Pinterest. I just pinned it to my 2018 occasions board. I don't know exactly the username that posted it, but there wasn't any image on here to say who actually made it the first time. I changed it up enough where it looks a lot different, but that's where I got the idea for this dotted background, which I love. So I love to give credit to those that we case from. I hope you liked these cards. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Hit that red subscribe button and the bell so that you don't miss another Stampin' Sunday or 32nd Thursday or my Plan With Me's that are on Saturday. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of the Wood Word set and if you are going to buy it. Check down below in the description for my website, thewonderlandstamper.com, where you can shop 24/7. Thanks so much for watching this Stampin' Sunday, Stampers. For now, keep stampin'. Bye.